You're asked would need to be done for the tile work and other things prior to school opening up.
I haven't seen my custodians do tile work. Have you?
That's my question. Some cases custodians are trained to do
I don't think my
things.
custodians are trained to do that, no.
Just maintenance men do tile work, but what about, oh, you're talking about,
I'm talking about cleaning
Cleaning
and
the tile?
painting rooms and getting everything just top notch, you know.
oh, I understand. And your custodians aren't qualified to
They're qualified.
do the tile work and the paint.
They're not, I've never seen them do tile work, not since I've been here. And have you ever seen them, Ms. Ferguson? Anything that's done with tile work or anything, the board does it for us.
Could you make a list of the most pressing needs to be done and when school's out, like areas? They could start with the most.
Sure, you know, I'll do that for my janitors anyway, the things that I need to have done. But like, what you have to understand about this facility, it will be used through the summertime until like the first part of August, when Energy Express goes out. So there we just have a little short span of time to get everything prepared for the teachers to come back in.
If you could make that space of time for this, like list these rooms separately and then the time that it will be empty.
Okay, we can do that for you. That'd be great.
Let's see if we can. I mean, there's lots of people out there out of work and we could contract surely with somebody to help us with this. Maybe not the entire building, but the worst part of it anyways.
Does Energy Express just use this building?
Yes, Energy Express is just using this building. Most of the time, Ms. Ferguson, correct me if I'm wrong, downstairs, because when I came last summer, they were already in here, this room. And then if we have this critical skills training for 3rd grade and 8th grade, we'll probably have to use a couple of rooms upstairs for that also.
Will that run the same length as Energy Express, or do you know?
I think he's running it about very close within that.
But the other building's not being used in the summer?
Well, yes, Youth Works is coming in. You know how they come
Yes.
into the town? They're going to use the showers and all of that again. And then, of course, we have a church that's using it also through the summer, and I have to work out, a church is meeting here to have a Bible study. So I have to work out for them to have some sort of a key or something to get in, because they're pressing me as to how they're going to get in through the summer to continue to use the building. The board approved that. Any other questions? We certainly appreciate all the help the board gives us here at Hamilton Creek. We thank you for that.
I think you have a great staff here. I know quite a few of them. My husband knows all of them practically, and he said they're a wonderful staff. So we appreciate all of them. That was very good. So I need a motion to approve all of the above items that we have reviewed.
Can I ask a question, please?
Sure.
I don't know if Mr. Polly, have gone to the centralized billing policy. Part here on billing procedures where delinquent accounts will result in loss of privileges. But prior to that, of course, it's noted here that I guess the parents will be notified ahead of time. Do you know how far in advance they're notified?
No, not.
I mean, that's just, I mean, and I see it seems to be a stipulation here that nobody's going to go hungry or anything, you know, plans are made. I'm just curious as to how far in advance parents are told that, you know, you need to do this. But once again, I see here that it's made clear that nobody's going to go without anything to eat, you know, if somebody doesn't pay. But I'm just curious as to how far in advance they're told.
I can check with this building, see what their timeline
Okay.
is.
I think they're sent out pretty often to the family.
The bills are sent out monthly, state monthly.
But this here says all delinquent accounts will result in the loss of charge privilege. In other words, they aren't going to allow them to charge you.
It's after a 90-day delinquency period, so they would have 90 days to get themselves up to date.
So then if they don't, will the child not get to you?
They say that you're gonna need, I mean, I'm saying, they've covered that. But it goes on to say that parent or guardian will be notified by mail that charge privileges for the student have been suspended. In other words, they're not gonna be able to charge anymore. I'm just curious as to,
That's right after that 90-day period. They haven't made an effort to payments. And really, what this is, it's trying to get parents on board to fill out the free and reduced lunch applications, because most of the people who aren't paying their bills are the people that should be on free and reduced, and they're just not following through. So it's kind of to cover that area.
I understand that. I just think, 90 days is 3 months.
Yeah.
And it seems to me like, if I get a letter that, hey, in 2 weeks, this is gonna end or something, because, in 3 months, I may have forgotten about that
Yeah.
letter.
But they'll get a bill every month, and it'll say, that bill may say, you're delinquent, or not you're delinquent, but your account is now past due.
But I've been, once again, I'm just.
Be sure.
But, well, this seems like that last one is just prior to they're gonna be cut off, it says, hey, this is your final notice that you need to do something here. But at the same time, once again, I realize, and I'm glad to see that nobody's gonna be, go without food, that they're gonna still get their lunch. I'm just curious that we maybe emphasize towards the latter part of that, that, hey, we told you now for 3 months, and now we're down to the last week or something here. Just, but I agree with you, many of them, just by
Yeah.
filling out the application, would be fine. Just,
Could we put a reminder on the bills when we send them out, if you will apply at the beginning of the year?
Actually, this year we did something that was really good on the school messenger. We sent out a little message to all parents and stuff, fill out your free and reduced applications and get them turned in. I think that really helped us out a lot this year.
Can they do that throughout the year at any time?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
And that would be something that we could do, Steve, just kind of every now and then send out a little
well,
reminder.
right, I think that's what Carol's saying, is kind of where I'm coming from. But the closer it comes to that, final day, I think that sometimes I may put things off,
Yeah.
but, as it gets down to the end, I'm more apt to address it.
I have a question too, Mr. Hawley, this trip to Kings Island for the high school 10th grade students, I understand the expenses are paid by the school and everything. This is on a Friday. What is this? Is this just, 10th grade students, there's quite a few 10th grade students, are all of them going? Is this an incentive for West Test or?
It's I'm not sure whether it's a reward trip for the testing or for other things, but it's
It's a reward.